Snow covers the plains. The wind bites, driving temperatures below 30 degrees Celsius. Yet beneath thick hides and earth, warmth thrives, not by luck, but by design. The cold on the plains was relentless, dropping well below freezing. Winds sliced through the vast expanse, and the sky remained a solid, oppressive gray. In these conditions, survival required ingenuity. Shelters had to trap warmth, preventing rapid heat loss. Every design consideration prioritized minimizing heat escape, from structure to materials. Efficiency and insulation allowed for warmth retention, crucial in survival. Materials used had to resist heat transfer, limiting heat escape. The challenge was choosing materials that slowed heat conduction, preventing energy loss. Earth, snow, and hides became integral parts of this system. Hides created dead air layers, crucial in keeping warmth inside. The buffalo hide was particularly effective, trapping air and insulating. This air gap prevented heat from escaping, creating a stable environment. Packed earth acted as a buffer, storing and releasing heat. Earth's thermal mass absorbed warmth during the day, releasing it slowly overnight. This prevented drastic temperature fluctuations, ensuring consistent warmth indoors. Snow drifts added another insulating layer, improving heat retention. Snow, being composed of air pockets, resists heat flow, making it a valuable insulator. As snow built up, it protected structures further. Fires provided necessary warmth, but heat management was key. The challenge wasn't just creating heat, but ensuring it didn't escape. Carefully designed fire systems kept shelters warm with minimal fuel consumption. Venting smoke while trapping heat required precise engineering. Smoke needed to be released without losing too much warmth. This balance was achieved by engineering smoke holes to let gases escape without venting heat. Smoke holes allowed exhaust while preventing heat loss. The smoke hole's placement ensured air moved upward, removing harmful gases. It acted as a conduit for warmth without causing excessive heat loss. Raised platforms kept people in warmer thermal layers. Cold air sinks, so elevating sleeping areas ensured that the family slept in the warmest part of the shelter, away from the cold floor. Cold air sinks, so elevated sleeping positions maximized warmth. People slept on raised platforms to stay above the coldest layers of air. This design kept them insulated from the cold ground. Every person's body added valuable heat to the shelter. Human bodies radiate warmth, and when people slept close together, their combined body heat helped maintain the internal temperature, reducing fuel needs. Shared sleeping arrangements enhanced thermal efficiency. Family members sleeping close together created a shared thermal mass, preventing heat from escaping. This practice reduced heat loss and ensured warmth throughout the night. Reflective stones were used to direct radiant heat toward sleepers. Stones positioned around the hearth helped to reflect heat, ensuring warmth was spread efficiently across the shelter. The heat was distributed evenly. The challenge was not just creating heat, but conserving it. Efficient design ensured minimal heat loss, conserving fuel and maintaining warmth. The insulation properties of materials like hides and snow became crucial. Stability was achieved by layering materials that minimized heat fluctuation. Each material, from earth to hides, served a purpose in creating a stable thermal environment. This approach kept interiors comfortable even in extreme cold. Livestock and shelters provided continuous, free metabolic warmth. The warmth generated by animals added to the shelter's heat, making them a natural, reliable source of heat. This helped stabilize temperatures inside. Animal body heat became part of the heating system. Livestock contributed warmth as they lived in close quarters with humans. Their constant body heat added to the shelter's overall thermal balance, The hearth was central, both for cooking and warmth. Positioned in the heart of the shelter, the hearth provided heat and served as a social center. It was the source of essential warmth. Turf roofs insulated structures, contributing to thermal efficiency. The thick earth layer on the roof acted as insulation, slowing heat loss and helping the structure retain warmth, crucial in maintaining internal temperatures. Walls needed to resist heat flow and preserve warmth. The choice of materials, such as earth, hides, and logs, ensured that heat stayed trapped inside. These materials prevented heat from escaping into the cold. Proper airflow minimized heat loss while maintaining breathable air. Air had to circulate efficiently, with heat rising to the roof. The smoke hole allowed the necessary ventilation without allowing too much heat to escape. Different zones within the shelter had varied temperatures for efficiency. The central area remained the warmest, while the outer zones were colder. This allowed for more efficient heating without overuse of fuel. The balance of air intake and smoke exhaust regulated the warmth. Carefully managed airflow kept the shelter breathable, allowing for heat retention while venting smoke away from the living spaces. The hearth was central to family life, gathering people around. Not only did it provide heat, but it also served as a communal space. The hearth became the focal point for daily activities. Building placement affected thermal performance, maximizing solar gain. Shelters were carefully oriented to capture sunlight and minimize wind exposure. Placement took advantage of natural elements to improve heat retention and energy efficiency. Every structural element contributed to surviving harsh winters. From insulated walls to strategic fire placement, each design feature worked in unison to keep warmth inside. These decisions ensured survival against the extreme cold. The smoke hole was strategically positioned to manage airflow. Placed carefully, the smoke hole ensured the removal of exhaust gases while minimizing heat loss. It helped control the internal environment effectively. The design prioritized function over appearance, essential for survival. Every design choice served a purpose in the fight against the cold. The focus was always on maximizing thermal efficiency, not aesthetics. Limited resources were optimized to create the best shelter. Builders relied on available materials, using earth, hides, and stone to construct effective shelters. Resource scarcity led to highly efficient, practical designs. Icelandic builders used turf for superior insulation in cold winters. Turf provided excellent insulation, leveraging its high thermal mass. This made Icelandic shelters particularly effective in maintaining warmth in extreme conditions. Snowdrifts added insulation, improving the thermal efficiency of shelters. Snow acted as a natural insulator, resisting heat flow. This extra layer of snow helped keep the shelter warmer and more stable. Arctic communities built homes from ice, exploiting its insulating properties. Snow blocks, with their trapped air, acted as natural insulation. This allowed Arctic shelters to stay warm despite freezing outdoor temperatures. Stone's thermal mass stored heat, essential for cold nights. Stones heated by the fire released warmth slowly, preventing rapid temperature drops. This thermal inertia ensured warmth even after the fire went out. Generational knowledge about heat management shaped architectural choices. Each generation refined techniques for heat conservation, passed down through families. This cumulative knowledge enabled communities to thrive despite harsh winters. Fires were carefully managed to avoid excessive fuel consumption. The challenge was not only maintaining a steady flame, but also ensuring heat efficiency. Fuel conservation became vital for long-term survival. Social bonds played a role in thermal management, enabling shared warmth. Family members sleeping close together created a shared thermal mass, distributing body heat and conserving warmth during the coldest nights. Builders observed the physical world to engineer optimal shelters. By studying the natural flow of heat, airflow, and material behavior. They refined designs to suit specific environmental needs and optimize warmth retention. Builders adapted designs to local environmental constraints and resources. Different climates and materials demanded unique solutions. Builders relied on what was available, creating the most effective structures with local resources. Animals inside shelters contributed consistent warmth to the household. Their metabolic heat became an essential part of the thermal system. Livestock provided a reliable and continuous source of warmth, reducing fuel needs. Indigenous designs maximized warmth from limited materials and fuel. Every element, from insulation materials to structure size, was optimized to retain heat. The goal was to make every resource as efficient as possible. The longhouse functioned like a thermal machine, capturing heat. By incorporating thermal mass, insulation, and efficient design, the longhouse effectively stored and distributed heat, keeping families warm even through the coldest nights. Minimizing cracks in structures prevented warmth from escaping. Gaps in walls, roofs, and doors let heat slip away, so builders sealed every joint and crack. A tight structure maintained warmth more effectively. Thick, insulated walls played a key role in maintaining warmth. The walls, made from materials like earth, wood, and hides, acted as barriers to heat loss. Their thickness was essential for retaining heat. Turf-covered roofs acted as both insulation and protective layer. Turf roofs insulated the shelter, preventing heat loss, while also protecting the structure from wind and snow, which could otherwise disrupt heat retention. Techniques were passed down, refined across generations of builders. Each generation added new insights, ensuring designs improved over time. This knowledge transfer allowed each family to build increasingly effective shelters. Every part of the shelter system contributed to thermal efficiency. From the materials used to the spatial arrangement, each element worked together, amplifying the effectiveness of the shelter's thermal performance. Livestock heat supplemented the human body's warmth in shelters. The animal's body temperature added to the shelter's warmth, reducing the burden on the fire and improving the overall heat distribution in the space. The longhouse was designed to store and release heat strategically. Through the use of stone and earth, heat generated during the day was absorbed and slowly released overnight, maintaining warmth for longer periods. Managing fire risk was crucial in maintaining shelter safety. A fire that burned too large or in the wrong place could destroy the shelter. Builders took care to ensure safe, controlled heating methods. Turf-covered roofs insulated structures, contributing to thermal efficiency. The thick earth covering trapped warmth inside, while also shielding the shelter from external weather conditions that would otherwise decrease its thermal performance. The fire pit was the heart of the thermal system. Located centrally in the shelter, it provided necessary heat and was strategically positioned to ensure warmth circulated evenly throughout the space. Turf roofs acted as insulating layers, creating a thermal shell. By trapping air between layers, turf roofs reduced heat loss, ensuring that the shelter stayed warm despite the freezing outdoor temperatures. Animals provided free, consistent warmth, enhancing the system's efficiency. Their body heat, coupled with human body warmth, created a more stable, consistent temperature in the shelter, reducing reliance on the fire. Strategic shelter designs integrated multiple solutions for heat retention. From insulating walls to effective airflow, the shelter's design focused on capturing and retaining heat, minimizing the need for excessive fuel or maintenance. Livestock helped by adding their natural metabolic heat to the system. Their presence inside shelters provided constant warmth, a steady and reliable heat source that supported the system during the coldest nights. By concentrating heat in the center, it maximized its usefulness. Heat was stored in thermal mass materials, such as stone, and released slowly. ensuring that the central space remained comfortable without constant fire maintenance. Properly directed airflow ensured warmth without compromising air quality. The shelter's design allowed heat to rise, circulate, and escape without creating drafts or compromising the air, which remained breathable and warm. Multiple techniques worked together to ensure warmth and comfort. From insulation materials to human body heat, the shelter was designed as a system, with each element contributing to maintaining an optimal temperature. Snow and earth naturally provided insulation through their unique properties. Snow, packed tightly, trapped air within its structure, while earth, with its thermal mass, provided a buffer that slowed the escape of warmth. These shelters optimized small spaces to create highly efficient warmth. The compact volume of the shelter, combined with strategic insulation and airflow, ensured minimal heat loss and maximum heat retention, reducing fuel consumption. The careful choice of materials contributed to heat conservation efforts. Materials were selected for their insulating properties, such as hides, snow, and earth, all chosen to maximize the shelter's ability to retain warmth. Small, confined spaces enhanced heat retention by reducing volume. With fewer cubic feet to heat, less energy was required to maintain a comfortable temperature, making these designs highly efficient in extreme cold. Passed-down techniques ensured survival for future generations. Through careful observation, trial, and error, knowledge was transmitted, ensuring that each new generation could build more efficient shelters suited to their environment. Builders learned survival techniques through practical, observational experiences. Rather than relying on written texts, knowledge was gained through hands-on learning, passed down from older generations who had first-hand experience with the cold. The system worked through trial and error, evolving over time. Builders refined shelter designs over generations, adjusting based on environmental factors and survival needs, ensuring that each successive shelter was more efficient. These adaptations were essential in surviving cold, harsh environments. Every feature of the shelter, from its insulation to its structural layout, was designed to help inhabitants endure long, bitter winters with minimal resources. The cultural reliance on communal living contributed to warmth management. Shared spaces maximized heat retention, with family members working together to maintain warmth, creating a social environment that facilitated thermal efficiency. These designs evolved based on environmental constraints and needs. Over time, builders adapted their methods to changing climates, materials, and available resources, creating a system that remained functional despite various challenges. Innovations continued to be refined, ensuring survival in extreme cold. Constant experimentation and adaptation led to increasingly efficient systems, ensuring that people could not only survive, but thrive in challenging environments.